Hi guys, it is time for the webinar. We are live right now. And let me first introduce myself. My name is Andrew. I'm part of the marketing team over at SEO Ranking. And today I am joined by Kristina Azarenko, who is an e-commerce and technical SEO consultant who helps businesses reach the traffic and sales levels that they deserve. She's also the founder of Marketing Syrup, a Toronto-based digital marketing consultancy. And Kristina believes that a website is an asset that should serve your business needs and bring in potential customers around the clock. She's also the creator of the SEO Challenge Course for people who want to learn how to do what she's doing. And also when she's not busy with all the SEO and optimizing websites, she enjoys her time with her husky and does a little dancing, hip hop dancing. Perhaps you want to say a couple of words about yourself additionally, Kristina?
Yeah, thank you for this great introduction. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be on this webinar. I'm so excited to share all the tips and insights with you. And I think that one of the main things to point out here is that SEO is a really great topic, and it can really give you lots of value for your business and for your website. And hopefully today you'll learn a lot of stuff that you can implement right now.
Okay, so yeah, that brings us to the topic of today's webinar, which is how to create great content based on the right keywords. And before I give the word over to Kristina, I want to let you guys know that you can reach out to us via chat in Zoom if you have a specific question that you want us to answer at the end of the webinar. You can click on the Q&A tab at the bottom and write your question there, and we'll make sure to address it at the end of the webinar. So there also will be a recording, and the most interesting question that we'll get at the end of the webinar will get a little something special from us. So yeah, so just sit back and soak it all in, guys, and enjoy what Kristina has to say. So Kristina, take it away.
Yeah, I was thinking, can I also submit the question so that I can get something special from you?
Sure.
Maybe my question will win.
Perhaps anything that brings value to our users, so who knows?
Okay, the name of today's webinar is the 4 steps approach to creating great content based on the right keywords. This is an official name because the unofficial name is Keywords, User Intent, and Baby Stool. As some of you might have seen in my social media, when I was sharing a link to this webinar, I promised to tell you an interesting story about user intent so that you understand why it's really important. So this is going to be a story about baby stool, so stay tuned and make sure to stay till the end. I've already got a pretty good introduction, but just for those who have joined, I'm an e-commerce and technical SEO consultant, and I help businesses to grow online using organic traffic, so they don't need to pay for ads as much as they used to or pay for ads at all. I'm a creator of the SEO Challenge Course, I'm an international speaker, and I'm also a quarantine dollhouse builder, because what else you are doing while quarantining, right? So I decided to start my little hobby of building doll houses. I have over a decade experience in digital marketing and SEO, and I was happy to work with really, really amazing brands. And I'm also featured on many industry blogs. My goal for today's webinar is to show you how to get more traffic and customers from Google by understanding what they're looking for and what they expect to see when they're looking for it. Because the only way to get consistent traffic and customers from search is to properly optimize your website. And the only way to properly optimize your website is to understand what your potential customers are looking for and give it to them. This is basically be relevant. This is the most important thing. And today, I'm going to show you these 4 steps to relevancy. Understanding the user intent, finding the right keywords. And so basically, we are going to cover the first 2 steps. They're very important, and they're the beginning of all your way to becoming relevant in Google. And unfortunately, we won't have time for covering 2 other steps, but trust me, the first 2 steps will be amazing. So today you learn what is user intent, why it's important to understand it, also about 4 types of user intent, and 3 ways to identify it. You will also learn why you should always make sure that you understand your users and what they are searching for. And I'm also going to share with you 5 unusual places to look for keywords. The first thing that you need to understand that user intent is the key. And the user intent actually answers the question, what does the user actually want when they are searching for this online? Because just the keyword might not give you all this information. And by answering this question helps businesses to think more about their customers versus thinking about themselves. Because what I see many times happening with my clients is that they're concentrated on the value they provide. They can be really awesome. The value they provide is amazing. Their story is amazing, but they're concentrating on themselves instead of thinking about their customers first. And switching this attention from your business to thinking about user intent is crucial for success in SEO. So why optimizing for the wrong user intent is an issue? Because the thing is that you can optimize, you can have the best page ever, it can be optimized really, really well, but it won't rank because if you're targeting the wrong user intent. And when I think about user intent and the keywords, the optimization that you have, I picture it as parts of the puzzle. And when this user intent and keywords and the content that you provide don't match, it means that it's going to be something like that, what you see on the picture. By the way, I forgot to tell you at the beginning, if you find some slide really especially resonating with you, you can just grab a screenshot and post it on social media and tag me. This is, you can see in the bottom, my Twitter handle. So feel free to tag me, to tag C-Ranking and post these insights. So what I was talking about is matching user intent to the content and keywords that you're using on your website. Why this is important? Because as I said, if you just don't matching those, you're wasting your resources, you're wasting your money, because again, you can create the best page, but if it's not matching the user intent, you're just going to waste money, burn money, because at the end of the day, you're paying your employees to deliver this, to create this content, to deliver this content, to promote this content. And it doesn't really matter unless you're meeting these insights of your potential customers. Here is a good example of a user intent that sometimes is really misunderstood. Here's an example of a search, best appointment scheduling software. So if, for example, a company sells appointment scheduling software, they might think, okay, my software is the best. So it actually makes sense to optimize for this keyword because, yeah, I believe my software is the best out there in the market, right? But when you break this down, again, when you switch this attention from yourself to your customer, you might understand that while people are searching for something best, it means that they're looking for some comparison, because best even suggests that there should be more than one option, at least options, but the more the better. So this is a comparison of different, in this case, scheduling software types by different features, maybe, I don't know, like by different features. So here you'll see that there are reviews of the software, other reviews, then blog posts, which again are comparing different types or different companies. So if you're going to create the best page for best appointment scheduling software, you're not going to rank because your page is going to talk only about you, while customers looking for this are searching for a comparison or reviews or something like that. So in this case, it doesn't even, like, it's not worth chasing this particular keyword if you're going to talk only about yourself. To give you even a better understanding of what user intent is and the types of user intent, I'm going to talk about 4 types of user intent. So these are informational. For example, what is coffee? In case somebody doesn't know this, they can search for this term, what is coffee? And in this case, you'll get different informational, maybe blog posts, in general, some information about what coffee is, coffee beans, maybe how they grow, and all this stuff. There's also commercial user intent, which is basically, here's an example, best insurance companies. So in the previous example, best appointment scheduling software, this is also commercial user intent. It means that a user is already on the consideration stage, but they are looking to compare something. They are looking for reviews. So they are gathering more information, but it's more oriented towards the next steps, which is transaction. So the next user intent is transactional, which is, for example, buy an espresso coffee machine. I think this is something people are now looking for a lot, because when Starbucks is closed, what else are you going to do, right? So if you want to buy something, this is going to be transactional user intent. And last but not least is local user intent. For example, coffee shops near me, which is not a really relevant example right now, but it illustrates the point really well. So for me, all those types of user intent come to 2 different groups. First of all, users who are searching for more information, and secondly, users who are searching to buy. And your approach to targeting these users should be different. And how you do this? You understand the user intent. So I'm going to share with you 3 easy ways how you can understand the user intent before even starting creating content. First of all, these are modifiers. For example, for informational user intent, this would be what, why, how, list of, etc. Like I had an example, what is coffee? Or how do I do something? How do I create a, I don't know, deck, right, in Google Slides, for example. The modifiers for commercial user intent are best, compare, reviews. Again, when people are in the consideration stage and they're looking for the best option for their budget, for the things they want from this or that product. The modifier for transactional user intent can be buy, get, cheap, download, online. So for example, when we talk about transactional user intent, it doesn't necessarily mean that people need to buy something. If on your website, downloading a checklist or downloading a lead magnet, for example, is a conversion, it is already a transactional user intent. So if somebody is looking to download something and it's a conversion for you, it's a transactional user intent. And last but not least is local, which are like near me, city name or country name, province name, basically everything, like all the businesses, all the shops or something like that that are located in particular geographical locations, Yes, that makes lots of sense. That was the first way to understand user intent. The second way is actually look at the search results. Google gives us really great opportunity to see and to analyze how they treat this or that query. What you can do, you can search for a potential keyword on Google and see which results Google gives to you. For example, if I'm searching for improve work efficiency, again, if I have an app which is awesome and can really, like Pomodoro app, right? If I have this app and I want to promote it, would I need to create a page which lists all the features of this ad and try to rank this page for improved work efficiency? No, this is going to be a bad idea, because when you look at the search results for improved work efficiency, you see that there are different blog posts which list different ways, and your app can be listed there as one of the ways to improve work efficiency. But if you're going to try to optimize your app page for this query, you're not going to rank. Another example that I had in my had with one of the clients. So I had a keyword for therapists in Toronto and psychologists in Toronto. I'm not a doctor. I don't really know these subtle differences between therapists and psychologists. So I was thinking whether I need to recommend creating 2 separate pages for these 2 searches. Then I turned to Google and I searched for therapists in Toronto and psychologists in Toronto. And I compared these 2 the sets of search results, and realized that Google actually treats these queries as almost the same, which means that I just need to create 1 page to target these keywords versus creating 2 different pages. Because in this case, these are going to be, there might be issues with self-cannibalization when the website is competing with itself. The website has 2 more pages targeting the same user intent, the same keywords, and they're basically competing with themselves. This is another great example how you can use search results to understand the user intent and to understand how Google understands your query. The third way to understand user intent is looking at semantics, looking at grammar, endings, prefixes. This will be different for different languages. For example, you can have one thing in Russian, another thing in German, and another thing in English. But if you know the language that you're optimizing your website in, this should be pretty straightforward for you. Here's a good example. So when I'm looking for a play dog, I can see that the results are mostly toys. So it means that Google treats this search query as if people are looking for toys, and people are looking for toys when they look for play dog. But if we just slightly change this into plain dog, this is going to be completely different. It's not about toys. It's about just watching cute dogs playing. So I don't know, maybe you have funny videos of your dog or have funny pictures. So this is completely different user intent, even though those search queries might seem really similar from the beginning: play dog and plain dog. Again, this is a good idea to understand how what people are searching for when they're searching for this online. One more important thing that I wanted to point out here is that user intent can change. For example, during summer, if somebody is looking for Christmas gifts, this is not going to be transactional user intent, most likely, because people don't really buy, most people, I think, don't really buy Christmas gifts during summer unless you're a real person who likes doing everything in advance, but most likely you're not. So when somebody is looking for Christmas gifts during summer, the search results will be completely different from something you will see when people are looking for Christmas gifts before the Christmas period, right? And before Christmas, the search results will be highly transactional with lots of ads, and also different stores, different shops will be competing for these search results. While in summer, there might be more informational queries, more informational blog posts, for example, I don't know, 10 best Christmas gifts or something like that. So this is important. And there are 3 main factors why user intent can change. First of all is seasonality. That's the example that I've just talked about Christmas gifts, important events, and news trends. Another good example would be our current situation, coronavirus situation, because there are many things that are changing right now. And here's a good example that Lily Ray has recently shared. So she shared that many courses which don't really, even when people are searching for courses and don't include online or virtual, Google is still prioritizing courses which are online, because obviously we can't go to offline courses right now. So that's why Google understands this intent, that even if a user doesn't include online at the end, they're most likely looking for some online resources versus going somewhere offline to learn something. And now, as I promised, story time. So once I had a client and they were selling gifts for babies, personalized gifts for babies, and baby was really strong term for them, because even their brand name had baby in it, right? And one of the type of products they were selling were stools. So I was thinking, oh, it makes sense to have a page which is optimized for baby stool. Until I checked Google to understand user intent, what people are actually searching for when they're searching for this, right? And I thought, oh, I don't think that this is a good search term to optimize for, because honestly, I don't want my client to be in these search results. So what I did, I slightly changed this to children's tool, which might not sound this different, but the search results are completely different, right? So you can see that, well, it actually makes sense. And for these search results, for this search query, I want my client to rank for. So the lesson learned here is that you need to understand your user. So I've just covered understanding the user intent, and I'll quickly cover finding the right keywords. But I know that that C-ranking gives you so many awesome tools to find the keywords, to find long-tail keywords. By the way, never forget to add long-tail keywords, because they're very important. So yeah, if you log into C-ranking, you can have all the amazing tools there. But what I'm going to cover here, because I know that there are other webinars which are showing you how to use C-ranking, that's why I didn't want to stop on this. But what I'm going to give you here is 5 places which are sometimes unusual for people. They don't think about these places when they come up with the keywords for the main content and additional content for the pages. So the first place is Google Images. I just love this, and I'm so thankful for Google, who gives this opportunity to look for this. So for example, if I'm looking for swing chair, then I switch to images. These suggestions at the top give me so much value, because it means that swing chair, okay, indoor swing chair, outdoor swing chair, garden swing chair. Maybe I want to have separate categories for it, because there is enough demand for each of these categories. And actually, if I'm looking for indoor swing chair, it makes sense to have a category targeting only indoor swing chairs versus having all of them on one page. So this is a very powerful tool, which is not really a tool, it is usage of what Google gives you. But this is a powerful way to look for keywords and for even some keyword ideas. Start with something which is quite general, and then go to Images tab, and you'll see all these different types of your search that you can target on your pages. The second thing is Google Questions. Again, Google gives us amazing opportunities here. So you can also search on Google for something which is quite general, and then find the questions which real customers ask. So if you're selling candles, maybe what is the best candle brand? Maybe, but how long should I burn a candle? This is at the end, a question at the end. This is an amazing question. And these are questions that you can use on your product pages, on your service pages. It depends on what you're selling. And first of all, this means that you are answering questions that your potential customers might have, and you're minimizing the friction, because not all people will go on forums and ask for something about your brand, right? Many people, if they don't see answers to their questions right away, they just leave and go to your competitor. So it's always a good idea to add some additional content to your pages which answers questions. And it's also good for optimization because it adds unique content to your pages. The next way to search for really good keywords is your internal site search. If you have, I think that most websites do have those, search bar, people are actually searching for really interesting things there. For example, black backpack. If I see that many people are searching for this on my website, I can understand that this actually might make sense to create a separate category targeting black backpacks, because this is what my potential.
Sorry, Kristina.
Yeah.
Just we have a question about Google questions. Where can you find them? Can you specify exactly what this is?
Yeah, sure. So when you're looking for something, the person who asked this question, you can go right now on Google and look for, I don't know, cheers, something really general. And when you look at the search results, I think after 2 or 3 search results, you will have this people also ask. This is basically on the first page, of Google results. I'll get back. So yeah, candles, and then at the beginning, I have some results like candles here, candles there, and then people also ask. If you can't find this, try another search, or just Control F and people also ask, and Google will show you where those are. Okay, getting back to internal search. So as I said, it's really important to track what customers are looking for on your website, because it can give you really awesome insights of what you're missing. It's basically getting your customers' opinion, and it's actually they telling you what they want. So that's amazing. 100% use internal search tracking on your website. And this is how you do this. In your Google Analytics, go to View Settings. In Admin, there's Review Settings, enable Site Search Settings, and mention your query parameter there. It will depend on your installation. For me, it's just the letter S. For somebody, it can be search or something. And then once all this data is collected, you can go to site search and search terms, and there you will see all the search terms that people are looking for. So in this example, there would be black backpack, and if you see that many people are looking for this, amazing, you need to create a separate category for this. Or if you are selling some service, or you have some features of this service, and this feature is mentioned slightly on some page, but all your users are looking for this feature, maybe create a separate page for this feature. Okay, just a few more minutes. So the next thing is customer chats. They look like this. I'm pretty sure you know how they look like. But what I see is that many times marketing, SEOs, and customer support people, they're working in silos, while in reality, your support team can give you so much valuable information on what potential customers are asking about, what they're interested in when they come to your website and can't find something. So it's always a great way to talk about this, not to work in silos in your company, but to have some cross team communication, so that the marketing really understands what they need to communicate on the pages, and even which keywords they need to use, which additional questions they need to answer on these pages. And the best way is to ask your help desk support. Last but not least are forums, QA websites, and like, for example, Quora, Reddit, etc. And I have a perfect example for it. When I was getting ready with this deck, I just went to Reddit and found this thread about candles. So here a person asks, where can I find the containers and what would I even search for? Do you see the power of it? Your potential customer is asking what they should search for, and in this thread, your potential customers are replying. So you can actually go there and see, oh, okay, so people would search for this, and then analyze these replies, analyze these results, and create a page for this. This is amazing to do this research, customer research. I created a keyword research checklist with 8 easy steps and cool rules. And you can download this checklist at this link. I think you'll always have a link in the chat. And a few words about the cool rules. They're really amazing, because in my situation, from my experience when I was teaching people, coaching people, I came up with these really easy, cool rules, and they help to choose which keyword you need to use for this or that page, and whether you need to use it or not. And if you think about that, if you look at these rules, whenever you have this question, you just look through these rules and you understand whether or not you should use it. So yeah, I've covered the user intent today, and I've covered really great ways to find the right keywords. Of course, you also should use some other tools like SEO ranking, in addition to what I told you about. But these were just amazing ways to look for keywords somewhere where most of people who are like you, marketers, SEOs, don't look at. I think that now we are going to switch to questions.
Thanks a lot, Kristina, for the helpful insights. And we had a question about SEO ranking and keyword research, and I just wanted to quickly show how you can get more information about your keywords using SEO ranking. Kristina, can you let me know? Okay, everybody.
Yeah,
no?
I can see your screen. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Everybody is saying that, yes.
This is the main dashboard of SEO ranking. Just wanted to show you. So to get more information about keywords or domains, you can go to the SEO PPC competitor research tool. And once you're in the tool, just enter a domain or a keyword. For example, let me just, for example, chairs. Doesn't really matter which one I'm going to go for. And then let's select a region to analyze. Let's click on the United States and analyze. So, and we will get a summary of the different data about the specific keyword in the specific region. Plus, you can scroll down and get and just take deeper dives and get more information about paid and organic search. And if you want to get more keyword ideas for the specific keyword, chairs, you can click on keyword suggestions right here and go to the similar tab, and then you have the related and long tail keywords here as well. So as you can see, we have over 40,000 different similar keyword ideas for the keyword chairs, and we have related keywords as well, which is a bit different. It looks at the pages that are ranking. So if you have a 71% means that the word chairs and the misspelled version of the word chair have 71% of the same pages in on the SERPs. So basically, just going through this, you can look at the data and just analyze which keywords are best for you. So that is what I wanted to show you.
Sorry, can you go back to the first tab where Google Trends were?
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, that was, here it is.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out this is amazing, guys, because now, so what many keyword research tools don't have, they don't have the information which is which is very rapidly changing. Like in the current situation, what we have right now, right? They won't reflect these changes of how many people are searching for this or that term, for example, this month. they just don't have capacity to update this. So that's amazing that SEO ranking also gives you Google Trends, because Google Trends reflect it almost right away. And for all of you who are doing keyword research, any type of keyword research right now, or explore topics, you definitely need to use Google Trends, because they can give you timely updates on what's going on in the world. For example, I checked cross stitch the other day, and I found out there's so much demand for it. Like, all the different types of do-it-yourself things where people are quarantining are very, very, very popular.
Now I have a couple of questions. So if
Sure.
you don't mind, we're going to address a couple of them. First question we have is from Miss Ria, and the question is, if I'm looking to start a website, but I want to start with the basics and build it up as I go due to limited resources, where would you recommend starting? And at what point would you integrate SEO?
I'd say that, so I'm a big believer that it's better to do everything right from the beginning, not like perfectly right when you're just paralyzed that there are so many things to do, but at least some basics to implement them from the beginning, so that you don't waste many resources afterwards, you don't overpay. Because if you think about that, it will be quite expensive to redo things. So what I would do, and what I usually recommend, and like when I work with clients, is that choose the platform that you want. And if you don't have resources at all, you can just Google and find some basic checklist of how to set up this platform. If this is, for example, WordPress, make sure that the URLs are correct. Make sure to install some SEO plugin that will help you to optimize title tags and all this stuff. And you can always build on this afterwards. But still, I strongly recommend to get some basics right from the beginning.
And also, there's a follow-up question from the same person. Does the importance of integrating SEO vary by industry?
Not really. Well, I'd say that if you have a website just for yourself, for your family, for like to send a link to your friends, and you don't really care whether any people will find this website or not, or you're not selling something, you're not a business, you're not an entrepreneur, then that's fine. You don't need SEO. But if you need people coming to your website, if you need leads, if you need to grow your audience, any industry needs implement SEO in their website.
Now we have a question from Dan, who's saying that he owns 2 of the most valuable domain names for 2 Scandinavian countries in a big niche on crystals. So he is making 2 web shops connected to an information database about this niche. What strategy would you use to reach the top of the search results?
That's interesting. I have never worked with websites connecting with something. I don't really think I understand the question completely. But if to think about SEO in general, you need to make sure that, again, you use the right words on your pages. And when I talk about words, this is not about keyword stuffing and all this stuff. It's just talking the language, speaking the language your potential customers do. So when it comes to e-commerce optimization, make sure that you have categories in place. You don't list all of 100 or more products just in one category, hoping that people will figure out these types. Like I talked about swing chairs. If you have different types of swing chairs, create different categories for this. I would say that the initial, the basic approach, the basic SEO approach would be the same like for any online store. But one thing that if you're downloading the information from any other websites, like for example through JavaScript or something, this can be challenging in many situations. This is like technical stuff, but make sure that you have content which is static, which is found in your on your website, and this content is unique.
Okay, we have a question, and a couple of people want answers to it, from Chris White, and the question is: if a keyword has a very low search volume, but it's your client's main service or product, should you still find some sort of way to optimize for this keyword, or should you find a solution to find a keyword to get a higher search volume?
This is an amazing question. And the answer to this question is like you usually have in SEO, it depends. I'll give you two different angles for this. First of all, if this keyword makes sense in general, it's not a made-up name, made-up name of the service, something that people would not really know how to search for, I would say that find something different, find some more genuine keyword. And that's what I faced with one of my clients before, when they had a product and it didn't sell. No people came to this product from the Google search, but when we changed the name to have it more general, this product became a bestseller. So this is one approach. The second thing, if this service, like the name of the service, has potential. So this is something that not many people are searching for, but people can search for it. So this is not a made-up name, right? That nobody can come up with. I'd say that if people can potentially search for it, and if this is something that your client does, I would recommend to creating this page, because in many situations, like I mentioned that sometimes long tail keywords are very important, not sometimes, always. So I happen to be in situations when you look for the keyword and you see that nobody's searching for it, but you create a page and then you see at least like 15, 10, 20 people coming to this page daily for keywords that can potentially not be searched. So this happens a lot. So if, again, to summarize, if this is a service that the name of the service that people can understand, it's not a made-up name, and if this is the main service of your client, create a page. And you can also build on this and create more genuine, like blog posts or features and all this stuff. But it's valuable to have this separate page.
So we have another question from Benjamin, and he's asking, what is the smartest way to handle synonyms? For example, boat rental, yacht charter, hire a boat. There are many different ways people can search for this. Do you need to create separate pages for each search term, or is it best to unify them on a single page?
Yeah, so that's something that I was talking about while talking about therapists in Toronto and psychologists in Toronto. What I would do, I would search for these different terms and check the search results from Google. For example, if you think about vacational insurance, recreational insurance, cottage insurance, these might be really like different search results. But if you actually look them on Google, look up for them on Google, you will see that they are the same, which means that you need to have only one page for these searches. So whenever you have this question about synonyms, search Google. And I'd say that especially lately with all this machine learning, Google has become really smart at understanding different synonyms and creating different pages for these. If these are really synonyms and Google sees this, you won't benefit, you just waste your resources.
And then another question from Kari, and we have an e-commerce site with over 2,000 products and about 40 categories and subcategories, and the website has never been SEO'd well. Is it best to start SEOing the main categories and work down to the third level and then to the products? Or is it better to focus on the most popular categories and products first?
This is amazing because I love e-commerce. This is my passion. So I'd say there is a single approach that will work for anybody. But to give you just some understanding, when it comes to e-commerce websites, the most visited pages are category pages, which means that you can optimize products, but I definitely started with optimizing category pages. And I'd start with your most popular categories. Like if you're selling boats and yachts, I don't know, something like that, then, and if your best-selling products are boats, then start with the boats category. But yeah, e-commerce is tricky, and if you have filters and sortings, there's so many things to think about. Yeah, but I hope that this helps.
Maud is asking, once you have found all the keywords and understand the user intent, and you're going to create your content, for instance, in a blog or SEO text on a web page, how do you assure that it gets picked up by search engines? Is it enough to just optimize the page or the blog with the keyword and the matching intent? Or are there other things that you need to keep in mind in order to sort of guarantee higher rankings?
Oh, well, first of all, nobody can guarantee because yeah, exactly. Everybody who tells you they guarantee this, like, don't work with these people. When it comes to on-site optimization, there are many things in play. As you said, as I told about user intent keywords, but there are also title tags, there are also internal links, which are really important. So if you create a new page, make sure that this page is linked from other places of your website. If this is a blog post, make sure that it's linked from all the blog posts. If this is a new service that you provide and you have services listed in your main navigation, include this link in the main navigation. So think about this when you create any new page. You should build this page into your existing infrastructure versus letting it just stand alone and be sad. So this is one thing to do. Also, make sure that this page is included in your sitemap XML. In most situations, sitemaps are updated automatically, but check if your sitemap doesn't update and then include this new page there. Check if Google can actually read the text on the page, because if you're using some JavaScript, this might not be the case. It happened with my clients as well. Yeah, so all the stuff that you need to do is like for any page.
Okay. Nick is asking, what is the best way to use SEO on a Shopify or e-commerce website?
The best way to use SEO on an e-commerce website is to use SEO. I mean, there is no single answer to this, and this question is so, I mean, just use SEO, and it means that your title tags should be optimized. If you are a store which selling sneakers, and your homepage says just homepage, you're not optimizing your website. So make sure that the title tags, title tags are the names of the tabs that you see in the browser, or the names of the websites which you see on Google search results. Make sure that they are optimized and they're actually using the keywords that you're targeting. Then your category pages should also have the title tags. And when it comes to Shopify specifically, also there are many problems with duplicate content if you don't set up things correctly. So if you, for example, have a product page which has site name / product name, so basically flat structure without category indication, make sure that the internal links from your category pages are pointing to this link as well, versus pointing to the URL with collection, product, etc. This can be changed in templates.
Thanks. The first question that we had from Dan about the crystals and 2 domains. So he specified, and he said that the main idea is that if he has the best names that people are just searching for, by like as a force of habit, does the SEO strategy change, taking into account that you already have a popular name for the domain and people are already searching for you?
So the domain name can help, but it's not as important as it used to be. So like a few years ago, it was like you buy an exact match domain and you're ranking high. Now you need something more, and unfortunately I don't have time to go into like a lecture on all SEO. This would be impossible, but just understand that that's not enough to just have this domain. You should still work on it.
If I have two clients from the same industry, what strategy should I use for both clients? And if they're the same industry, and how do you select the keywords for each one of them? Can you target the same keywords?
It's a conflict of interest. I'm gonna try not to work with the clients who are targeting the same keywords, and in many situations, even if the keywords can be similar, the companies can have slightly different approach. So this can be reflected in the keywords. But if you're working with two businesses who target exactly the same, I don't even know how to answer this, because it's not about SEO. It's more about your approach. It's more like conflict of interest. So this is less an SEO question and more a question of how you approach to working with clients.
When creating landing pages for different cities, should you use unique content for each city, for each city out with the city name and the service of the keyword that is provided? Because the person that's asking the question, Adam, says that he has seen this suggested, but all the top SEO agencies basically have duplicate content for their city pages with only the city name switched around.
Ideally, you should have unique content, but you can start building template of the description of the text that you have on the page, and change only the city name and something else to make it more unique, and then build up on this, find something more that you can include, maybe some, popular tourist attractions in this city, depends on what you're selling. Ideally, these pages should be as unique as possible, and make sure again that the title tags are also reflecting that these are for different cities, because what I see in many cases, they don't. Make sure that the titles reflect that these are different cities or different regions, different provinces, and make the content as unique as possible. And it also includes using different images which reflect what this city is about, and using alternative text for these images talking about the city.
Sarah is asking, what kind of strategy would you recommend for a car dealership in order to rank with a lot of local competition?
Yeah, that's an amazing question, and I think that there is a lot of different unique obstacles when you talk about dealership. I can't, I don't have time to share all these specifics, but your ideal scenario is to find a way to stand out from your competition. I mean, if you have 10 different dealerships which have the same content on the page, how would you stand out? You can either make your internal linking better, or you can add unique content. You can also work on your external optimization, which basically means earning links. Just think about this way. If you have the same, if there are many the same pages talking about the same things, how would you approach it to stand out? And then this can give you many different ideas of how you can approach this.
Paula is asking, how long does it take Google to index a page? Say she changed the tag title, the description as well, and submitted the URL again to Google Search Console. How long does it usually take?
Nobody can reply to it. If you ask John Mueller from Google, he'll say it depends. But basically, it happens. From my experience, it happens really quickly. You might not have, so it doesn't mean that your description and title tag is changed right after the indexing in Google search results. So your page might be re-indexed, but your old title tag or meta tag can stay the same. But from my experience, it just takes really, maybe a day or something or two, especially if you're using the URL URL tool in Google Search Console, and you check the URL and then submit to index, and that's how you tell Google that you need its attention right now on this page.
Adam is asking if there's an SEO expert that you keep an eye on, just on a regular day basis, just to be on the same page in terms of SEO, to keep up the pace with the developing world? Is there somebody that you recommend?
Yeah, I'd say that one of the best ways to stay in the SEO loop, how I call it, even in my course I created a list of people to follow to stay in the SEO loop, because everything is changing right now. So first of all, make sure that you are active on Twitter, because Twitter is the best place to get all these updates, even from Google. So make sure to follow Google John Mueller. Make sure to follow Martin Schmidt from Google as well, and also Gary Lewis. You can also Barry Schwartz, Aleda Solis. The easiest way would be for you, I think, to because I can't name all the names, but you can go to my Twitter account and see who I'm following, and follow me as well, because I share a lot of stuff as well.
Okay, I'm gonna go with one that we had waiting for a while, from Valerio, and he's asking, how do you use Google Images if my product is a digital service? Well, is digital or as a service? Because this was asked during your presentation when you were showing the Google My Images as a source of inspiration or of ideas.
Yeah, have you tried using it for your product already and haven't found any information there? Because I think there still might be some suggestions from Google, even though you're selling not physical products but digital products. So check this out as well, I'd say. And if this is one of the ways to search for, one of the unusual places to search for keywords. You can always use other places. You can use C-ranking as well. But yeah, in most of the cases, even though these are digital products, you will still have some suggestions. But make sure to start with more generic keywords versus having the keyword too specific.
Thanks a lot. You've been brilliant. So I think we're gonna end it there, because we're not gonna be able to cover all the questions. But if you guys have anything still that you want to ask, I'm sure you can reach out to Kristina on social media. You can reach out to us if you have any questions about SEO ranking, and we are gonna ask Kristina to pick a favorite question, and we will give that person 1 month subscription to the optimum subscription plan in SEO ranking. So thanks everyone for being here. Hope we covered a lot of the questions that you guys wanted us to cover. And once again, if you have anything that you're not sure of, just reach out to us and we'll do our best to help you out. So thank you again, Kristina, for being here. And I hope we'll do this again sometime, and stay safe, everyone.